We take in garlic, we heat garlic, and we make use of garlic. This is a special spice which everyone all over the world. First thing, hello everyone, welcome back to another segment. In today's episode, let's dive into African lady based in China. For many thoughts that all African ladies being married to the Chinese environment, to the Chinese husband, they're usually ended up to be a farmer. But I want to tell you that I want to prove it wrong, that not all of them, landed in the hands of farmer or in the family where they cultivate land. But cultivation of land has been part and parcel of everyone, even all over the world. You will not tell me that someone who actually oriented or diverged into the city life has not started from somewhere. Each and every one of us begin from somewhere before the found themselves in the city or before they landed themselves in the city. But I think that statement is actually wrong. Not all Chinese African ladies being married to the Chinese husband ended up in the farming system. Here we have the African lady. One would say, is she a farmer? Does she farm while in Africa? Well, looking at her, I think she's not the farming type. Even when you look at her, she's actually trying her best, to fit in and also to ensure that she do her possible best to ensure that her Chinese grandmama, never stress herself or never overworks herself. Every work she does, she often assists her and ensure that everything goes well. She did her home part and she ensures that the family be on a steady ground. Marriage itself is a faith. As we check in our recent video, we talked about marriage itself, being faith. You might land in a very good hand, you might land anywhere you just land. You just have to, accept your fate and then to work accordingly and how to minimize or how to go on with the environment. Just to see our African lady, she actually doing her fervent best, to ensure that she is off to be able to fit in. But notwithstanding, you can see that the family in which she landed in, her Chinese grandmama and also her Chinese grandpapa and also her lovely Chinese husband is a kind of they do farm a lot. But what she should do, she should just we should just sit down and then say, I'm not farming. We should try to be offending or try to create a kind of attitude towards what they've been doing for years. No, the answer is definitely no. As you can see, she's so smart with beauty and intelligence, and she tried her best to do one thing or the other. Even when they're farming, she will stand, she will try to jack it, she will try to gather the harvest. She also tried to till the ground. In a subsequent edition, I think will bring to us where she was planting some certain seed crop, and many were like, wow, she doesn't know how to farm. Many were like, how she's so weak, and many were like, she's so soft, and many were like, how will she land in such an environment? I say she's actually she's sincerely the replica of a good African lady. When we talk about the beauty of African, we talk about the character of African and also the attributes of African. This rest in her. Yes, and so much thank her Chinese grandpapa, so Chinese grandmama, and also her husband who tries to understand our African lady. They know that actually as time goes on, she will do wonders in the family. The joy, the spirit of joy she brought in, the spirit of humility she brought in, and the spirit of humility she also brought in. And her Chinese grandmama says it, she loved her so much. She loves her so much. She has found a good friend. They do things together, and I tell you, she as a South African lady cannot leave her African Chinese mama stranded. She often and always wants to assist her. She often and always wants to aid her in every level and in every ground. The cultivation of garlic plants cannot do well in all land, in all soil, and in all territory or in all states. There's a particular place in which when the seed is being planted or where this crop the spice is being planted, it will spring forth and it will yield a lot of harvest. As you can see here, the Chinese land is so blessed with different natural resources and is so blessed again blessing with a fertile land. Not all lands are blessed. Some land, when you plant some things, the thing drastically dries off. The indication of a land that is being blessed is when you plant a particular spice or you plant a particular thing and you find out that the thing yield its fruit and gives abundance, an abundance of harvest. That is when you indicate to know that such land or a certain land is blessed while the other land is not blessed. Well, you can see that the Chinese land is so fertile and so blessed. Having a people that is humble, having a people that have, human feelings, human understanding, and also care for others and care for people they don't know. Why won't their land be blessed? Well, this is a blessing from above. Well, you can see that in this special day, you can see African lady, a Chinese grandmama, a Chinese grandpapa, and also a Chinese husband. What are they doing? They're harvesting garlic. You can see the abundance of it in the farm. You can also see the ones they've harvested. This is a good example of a blessed and fertile land. Well, in some parts of the Chinese environment or in the part of Chinese state, you do make use of a machine mechanized system of farming. But in a place where there's no mechanized system of farming, what should they do? Should they allow the crops to be wasted, or the planted crops to be wasted in the farm, or another measure needs to be taken care of? That is why they have to come together to think of a way in which they have to shift this from the farm to where it's been safe. So here's the harvest, and thank God they were able to get should I say yes, a bike which we're able to convey it the large quantity back home. For many has been consuming garlic, and many have been consuming a lot and a lot. Well, for some persons this is their first time to see how garlic look like, while some other person were like, what are they doing there? What exactly are they doing? Is this grasses? Are they trying to gather some grasses? But I bet you this is not grasses. This is the harvest of garlic. And garlic is one of the healthiest spice. When you use it, apart from its health value, it also has medicinal values which help the body to regain or to have its balance, its health stature. So I think garlic is very important. If you go all over the state, all African states, all over the country, even in the ASEAN states or countries, you found that most people consume a lot of garlic. You see that it's a special spice being given from above, and apart also from the medicinal values, it also aid to generate a kind of fund for those who cultivate it. If you cultivate a large quantity of it, you find that you have a lot of fund, a lot of money flowing in. But the cultivation process and the tilling process and even the harvesting process is somehow for some persons it looks so hectic, but the end process, it was gives joy, it was gives laughter, and it was gives healing even to generation, from generation to generation, and even to fourth, fifth, 10th generation. Yes, that is why it's very good to consume garlic. So if you're first year and you don't actually know how to cultivate this particular plant, this is another level, another place you have to be educated and also create be aware that this is how it's been done and this is how it looks like. And there are different species of it. We have the Chinese garlic and we also have the other type of garlic. But this this particular one, they actually harvested, they cultivated and harvesting is the Chinese garlic. You can see that it's big, it's bold, it's healthy, and it actually heat in abundance. So that is the beauty of farming, and that is the joy, should I say, as the gift that is being generated, that is being given from above for those who cultivate and still the ground. For the thoughts of our Chinese husband also being learning and being under the care and the support of his family, yes, of his mom and dad, is something that needs, one should draw concern. Mostly in the Chinese environment, one thing they do stay together, they do live together, and they do share common things together. Yes, I think that is one thing. If you talk about the Chinese people or talk about the Chinese culture and tradition, and mostly in a family where there is only only one child or there's two child, you just children, you just found out that the parents, they hardly let go of their son, taking another person's daughter, to another place, like trying to, find a home for themselves to start living together and all of that. But in most Sereno, you found out that the son often comes home, with the wife, and the wife, lives in the family. There are different type of culture and traditions, so we don't dispute the culture and tradition of the Chinese people. That is how they act, and that is how they behave, and that is how it's been done, and in some certain states, in some certain traditions, in some certain culture, away from that of the Chinese people, you find out that the man, or the boy, or the man, yes, usually takes his wife away, or either they rent a place, to avoid any collapses, to avoid any drama, and to avoid any drastic drama which might occur. But since the Chinese people, they are cute, they are humble, and they understood how to take care their son's wife, or someone, that is not part of them lineage or friends. They actually understood the factors, they understood, the protocol, should I say the step, the procedure on how to relate with people. So that made it more easier. So why on earth we didn't try to find somewhere else to live? And why on earth, we just start, jambajastic and, making all kinds of decisions which are not relevant? So that is why you see most of them, they do stay together, they do live with their son's wife, and even with their sons together. Alright, this is where we'll be wrapping up today's episode. I hope you're enlightened on today's package. Please do stay tuned and stay blessed, and always remember, love this. Stay good for now. Bye for now.